Hi, Roger.
Hi. Just first of all, if we can just talk team news. Obviously, you made changes last time in the Cup. Are you looking to make changes again this time round?
Well, we'll try to pick a team that we think can give us a good chance to win the game. That's what we'll do. We want to try and win the game. We're trying to go through, and we've got I think that last week demonstrated that we've got a group of players that all are ready to play and want to play. So we have to just pick the right team for us for the match against Blackpool.
Jason Steele came in. Was quite a prominent figure last time round. Does he get a chance again in the Cup?
No, he's still feeling poorly, so I don't think he'll be ready for the game. So it'll be Rob or Christian we'll have with us probably for the game. So we'll make a decision on that as we go towards the game.
And he described last time round as traumatic because it was quite an eventful occasion. Are you hoping for, expecting something a little less traumatic this time round?
I'm expecting an equally difficult game. We went to Newport with the respect of what they've done in the previous competitions and how well Mike's done, and we have the same respect for Neil Critchley and Blackpool, and they've earned the right to be here. I think they earned the right well. They've got a really good, clear idea of how they're playing. I'm really impressed with what I've seen. They earned their right to come through, like I said. Wasn't luck. They use their front players really well, but they can also build up. They're a well-coached team, so exactly the same as the game before. The respect I have and we have for the teams in the lower leagues and the football pyramid is very, very high. So you're expecting a difficult game.
In terms of timing, is it an inconvenient one having got a win in the league after going a while without getting a win in the league? Would you like to have been straight back in, get back-to-back Premier League wins and really keep that momentum going?
No, the calendar is what it is, and we can't control that. We're obviously happy with the week that we had in terms of going through the FA Cup and a good performance against Manchester City, and then to beat Leeds was obviously positive for us. And now we want to carry on. That's where it is. We need to start again in the game against Blackpool. We need to earn that right, but that's the challenge for us. That's what we want to do.
Tariq Lamptey, I don't think we've spoken to. I'm not sure we have since he signed his new deal. What was the thinking behind that? Because I know, or there's certainly reports that he's been attracting interest from elsewhere. Tying him down.
No, I think it's good news. Good news for the club. Good news for Tariq. It means that his short, medium, long-term future is with us, and he can just focus on actually what the most important thing for him is firstly getting fit, and then to play more games in the Premier League. He's not played that much, so we need to help him get more games and carry on the development that he's shown since he's been here. But obviously, everybody's delighted at the club.
Tariq obviously staying. Bernardo's gone out on loan. What was the thinking behind that? And it is a loan, but is that perhaps the end of Bernardo's time at Brighton, or is there a chance he'll come back?
No, not necessarily. I think Bernardo's at a stage of his career where he felt that he wanted to play regularly. He wanted to get some regular game time, and we weren't in a position to be able to guarantee that. And like I said before, sometimes you've got to respect the players' position in their career. I think it's good for him that he can go and play some football, and then we can see.
It's that situation. He is a player. He hasn't figured much, but he has figured this season. Is there a sense? I know you brought in another fullback as well, but are you looking to bring in elsewhere as well to bolster the squad if you've got a player going out?
No, we're okay. I've said before, numbers-wise, we're fine. The only thing we were thinking about was just to make sure that the players that were at a stage where they felt that they needed to get out to play some regular football, we could make that decision if it was right for everybody.
I know I've asked you before about Moises Caicedo. It's one that doesn't go away, and you keep reading reports that it's just a bit of red tape and Brighton are getting closer. Is there anything to report on that? Is he a player that you're looking to bring in? Anything you can update us on?
No, it's the same stuff. There's always a bit of speculation and a bit of noise around things, but until until he's a Brighton player, then I've got nothing to say about it, really. Sorry, Roger, I can't elaborate on that.
But you did say until he's a Brighton player. That sort of indicates that he's on his way to becoming a Brighton player.
Well, until anybody's a Brighton player, should I say? Excuse my my language. Until anybody's a Brighton player, it's pointless me speaking about them because they're not our players. It's just, it is what it is.
It's a possibility he could become a Brighton player.
Anything's possible. You never know.
Okay, thanks a lot for your time, Graham. Let me jump in now. Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Cheers, Roger. Great stuff. Johnny.
Hi, Graham. Yeah, sorry to do the usual, but in terms of the injury list, Lamptey, Lallana, Welbeck, Connolly, what's the latest?
None of those will be involved at the weekend. Making progress. Aaron's making progress. He'll probably be training with the group either tomorrow or I'm expecting tomorrow, but again, too soon for him for the weekend. Adam's feeling a lot better. He's been feeling poorly, so he's feeling a lot better, but we'll probably need some training time before he's considered for the games. And Danny is making progress, a little bit slower than what we thought, but still making progress. And you're looking more a couple of weeks maybe for him, similar for Tariq. Apart from that, Ali, again, a couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah, okay. You have brought in a couple of players. Obviously, Percy Tau's come in, Jakub Moda, Mikhail Karbovnik, if I pronounced that right. What's it like? What's your strategies in terms of incorporating new players into the squad? I mean, it must be particularly difficult, bearing in mind the current situation.
Yeah, it's in some ways it's the worst time because the world is set up to not connect and not to build relationships. So they have to do it on the pitch in socially distanced manner. That's how it is. But we all accept that, and that's what we have to try to get on with. But essentially, it is that, just to give them the time to settle, to land, to adjust to us, to the club, to the country, then to the league, and to just it's case by case, Johnny. To be fair, it's just to seeing who's more able to play the minutes, how many minutes, that type of stuff. But certainly there's no general strategy, I would say. I think it's just look at each player individually and see what the right thing for them is.
You mentioned about the keepers, Christian and also Robert. What's the latest with Matty Ryan? I know we've discussed it in the past before, but is there any movement there? Is there any imminent news in terms of his future with the club?
No, nothing to report at the moment, Johnny. It's that time, of course, where you understand Matty's position, but at the moment, nothing to really give you anything.
Okay. In terms of the FA Cup, does it become more important the further you go in the competition, or is it just simply it's a big competition, you want to go as far as possible?
We said from the start that it's an important. The game against Newport was important for us because we wanted to try to win. We wanted to go through. I think, the reality of it is if the week hadn't gone well for us last week, if we hadn't played well against Manchester City, if we hadn't beaten Leeds, you can get some, it can look negative because you think that you've put the priorities elsewhere. But I think we're in professional football. We want to try and win the game. We want to try and go through to the next round. We don't think of anything other than playing against Blackpool because Blackpool are capable of winning the game. That's what I've seen from my analysis of them. So we respect that, and then we have to fight to try to win ourselves.
And what do you make of Blackpool? They've got a mix, haven't they? Some youngsters, but also a little bit of experienced players who played in the Championship as well. Yeah,
I've been really impressed. Obviously, Neil Critchley's a very, very respected coach, and I can see that from the work from his team. I think they mix it well, attacking. They've got a real clear idea of what they're trying to do. They can play into the strikers, like you say, but can also play through the thirds. Well organised in terms of their offensive game, but also defensively. The shape is really, really good. And when I watch their games back, it's really impressive. I think they had a slow start to the league, but then the form has really picked up in terms of results. So it's going to be a tough game.
Cheers. Thanks very much, Graham.
Thank you.
Hi, Graham.
Hi.
Go for it.
If we could just go back to Tariq Lamptey, obviously a very big week for him, signing his new contract. He's settled in very well, and you've clearly got a lot of faith in him. But have you been surprised at all with just how well he's settled in at the club?
Well, I think, when he first came, you never know. I think we'd be lying if we said that we're going to say, he's going to come into the Premier League and have the impact that he's had. But you're also aware of the attributes that he did have, and then it's just a case of you need a bit of luck, and I think you need to try to be able to, in a situation where you're using his attributes as much as you can. I think we managed to do that, understand him better. But then it's down to him and his qualities and how he's settled in with his team and his teammates. He's still got a lot to do, but that's the exciting bit.
And you've spoken about he's got a lot to do and you want him to reach his full potential. What more does he need to do to achieve that, in your eyes? Well,
he has to. It sounds simple, but he has to play a lot more games in the Premier League. I think is the first bit, and then as a result of that, I think he'll be better in all aspects of his game. It's playing, and it's also working with the coaches here, the teammates. But I think if you speak to Tariq, I think he'll say that he's got every area of his game he can improve, and that's not to say that he's not doing really, really well. It's just that's a normal case, and I think he has got that mentality that he wants to improve, that he wants to get better. He's got that ambition, but now it's just a case of settling down and getting on with the really important stuff, which is playing football, which is affecting the games, which is helping us get points.
And the offside rule is a very big talking point at the moment after Bernardo Silva's goal against Aston Villa last night. There's a lot of debate about whether that was offside or not. I was wondering if you've seen the incident, what you made of it, and do you think there are any issues with the laws of the game?
Well, the only issues with the laws of the game are sometimes the guys that are involved in the game don't know the laws in the game, and I include myself. So that's why I'm never so vociferous on the side against referees, because I can't say that I know every single law of the game, and certainly that law, I can see why Dean Smith last night would be perplexed by it. But ultimately, if that is the law, then that is the law, and whether you think it's a good one or not is another thing. But it doesn't become anything. It's a fact. It was offside, but again, I have sympathy for Dean in terms of it didn't feel that it was an offside. I can see where he's coming from. So that's the challenge. We all have to get better at understanding the laws of the game.
And just finally from me, obviously it's been mentioned how you've done a fair amount of business. Are you happy with the amount you've done this month so far, or are there a few more in the pipeline that you're hoping to do before the deadline?
No, I'm happy. But again, I think there's always, while the window's open, there's always time, there's always opportunity for players to either leave or players to come in. But we're happy with the squad. I'm happy with the squad we've got. But always open to adapt and be flexible, because that's how the market is sometimes, and you have to be in a position to react if you need to.